the good folk of Devonport, the good folk of Narrow-neck and the good folk of Ngati Whatua.
Brendan Horan.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise on behalf of New Zealand First in support of the Ngati Whatua Orakei Claim Settlement Bill. Tēnā koutou nā rangatira no Ngati Whatua Orakei, nā mihi tonu kia koutou I runga I te kaupapa nui o te rā, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Sir, I would like to mention some men and women, driving forces within Ngati Whatua, that being Grant Hawke, Puawai Raneka, Sir Hugh Kawharu and Tuana Tibble, and men and women like them who have worked for so long, because this has been an intergenerational process, shall we say. And part of that process, and we've heard much of it discussed today about Narrow-neck and over in Devonport, and it's interesting how we can have different viewpoints on it, because I loved it. You know, I loved it because what we had were people in Devonport who were actually, you know, New Zealanders, not necessarily Māori, but everybody developing a connection to the land. And that's, again, what makes us unique as New Zealanders. And so it was great. It was great hearing wild accusations flowing and wild opinions, because, again, that's what makes us special as New Zealanders, that we can have a different opinion. And we can voice those opinions, and then we can come together and we can solve differences. And through the select committee process, where we were there on Orakei marae, and what a beautiful marae it is too, and you know, the submissions we had there were some, I thought they were magnificent submissions, because they were all about people being connected to the land. And through that process, we now have a pretty much general agreement that Ngati Whatua Orakei are going to be great landlords, and their generosity is well known. So I think the process was actually great, and I welcome that process. So Ngati Whatua Orakei are one of the leading lights in Māoridom in turning their asset base from, shall we say, humble beginnings to them being now one of the main players and one of the wealthiest iwi, and that is through smart planning and careful investment. Their generosity has given rise to the Tamaki Collective, which was able to be established, comprising 13 manu whenua groups. That was signed a couple of weeks ago. And moving forward, the ongoing relationship between the Auckland Council and manu whenua is very, very important. As I said earlier, there's no need for me to go over the history, because my colleagues have already mentioned much of that history. But I will say that after speaking with people from Ngati Whatua Orakei, the greatest joy, they would say, and it's visible too, because, you know, as I drove up through that select committee meeting, you know, meandering up Kete Moana Street there, and then arriving at this most beautiful destination in Orakei marae, it was neat to see the young people that were there, doing what young people should be doing on a marae, helping. Causing trouble, says Hone over there. Well, we know that you cause lots of trouble up there up north, but no, what was neat has actually been the reclamation of mana through this whole process. And that is, it has been heard and captured by the tamariki mokopuna of Ngati Whatua Orakei. And that is the greatest gift that anybody can receive and that anybody can give. Because now we have long-term planning and the intergenerational legacy continues. And long may it continue. Kia ora.
Jonathan Young.
ina reo, ina mana, ina